Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Mile High Game Guys Board Gaming Podcast. I'm your host, Adrian.
I'm Zach.
And I'm Jeff.
And this is a board gaming podcast.
Yes, it is.
It is. In case you didn't know what you were listening to.
And talk about board games eventually, at some point. I'm tired.
I'm tired too.
I
was tired, but now I'm not tired anymore.
I am also switching to night shift. So yesterday was my last day shift of the day shift cycles. And so this is like my 3 days to transition my sleep schedule to working night shifts.
What's the least amount of time they give you to switch between them?
I think all of our
hours?
I think all of our switches are 3 days off.
Okay.
And then the first they try to, and this isn't always true, but most of the time, you only work 2 days your first day on a new.
Gotcha.
So I'll have today, Tuesday, and Wednesday off, and then I go into work Thursday night, and I work Friday night, and I'm off Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and then back at work next Tuesday night.
So that means that's an episode next week, right
Yes.
there.
Yes, we will have another episode next week. 2 in a row. I mean, it seems to be
it'll be 3 in a row. 3 in a row.
Well,
technically 3 in a row.
Yeah.
I don't care about the releasing. I care about the recording.
Okay, gotcha.
That's the only thing I keep track of anymore.
Okay.
For all I know, when Jeff doesn't message and say, "Hey, is there an episode getting released?" or "Do we have an episode waiting for release?" I'm like, that is as news to me as it is to anyone else.
Yeah, it was also news to me at that point because thought I had done it.
Great.
Yeah, it was about 15 minutes later, and I was like, "Oh yeah, it's out now."
Yep.
Cool. Well, it may have only been a week since an episode came out, but it's been 2 weeks since we recorded, so there's been some time for some games. Zach, what have you been playing?
Well, just recently, as in yesterday, we played some. Do we do Kingdom Death at the end still, or does it matter now?
I mean, it's the Kingdom Death minute, so or the Kingdom Death hour.
Hour.
Yes,
Is technically its own section.
Yeah,
But it has not been included in the show
since the last time.
A long time.
Yeah.
It's only been a month.
Yeah, so I'm going to just say I don't care, and I'm just going to talk about it now.
I think that's what we did last time.
Yeah. This was another adventure into our People of the Skull dragons.
People of the Skull Stars.
Yep, Skull Stars.
Star Skulls.
Bone Dragons, however you want to phrase it.
Yes.
Sure.
People of the Stars campaign with the People of the Bone.
Yep. Superheroes that are the glassiest of bone cannons.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
We
constantly run into bullshit. We keep getting fucked. We keep running into the same events that make it every time we come back with all of our really, really good, fucking Superman level heroes. They all have to skip the next hunt based off of bullshit clinging mists things, or just something is you know what? Next round, you don't get to play with any of them.
Nope.
And then we have to take all of our bullshit people.
Which are slightly better than... Because the first time we did People of the Skull, it was just 100 or nothing characters.
Yes.
These ones are 85-15.
Yes.
So they had... Some of them had skull stuff, but they also were a little stronger. But it still did not go super well for us.
So the last time we left off, we got a Clinging Mists, which meant we had to immediately go... and do another hunt or do the whole reset the settlement thing. So we decided to go do for the other hunt.
Because all of our good characters were the ones back at the settlement.
Because we were coming back with the bad characters. And if we had all the good characters, we would have reset that fucking settlement and started back at Lantern Year 1 with superpower motherfuckers.
Yeah.
We proceeded to fight the Gorm level 1 again because we had stomped it last time. This time, it killed all but me.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And it took me... basically
10 turns, basically.
Yeah, it was doing the same thing every round where it wasn't attacking, but it was doing brain damage and sanity damage, which I was doing fine.
Yeah.
But these characters aren't great, and I could either throw a dart that would hit on 6+ and maybe do damage. It was a 6+, 5+, or 2 dice to do a 7+, 7+. And I didn't do it for 5 rounds.
Well, so because we're also playing with 5 people, which normally the game's built around 4 people, and we found a workaround that works completely
well. There are
well.
rules in the back of the book for it, but they are bad.
Yeah.
And there is like a house rule, like good version to actually play with 5 players.
Yeah. So,
which is basically the monster has 25% more health. You get 25% more resources, but whoever is the monster controller, their character can only move and they cannot activate, which means they cannot attack or use any item. Basically, they can only move.
Yeah. So it doesn't break the game by having more activations than than needed, basically.
Yeah.
But what we ran into, especially on this one, was the people we needed to be able to take actions were the monster controllers.
Basically, the 3 people in front of Zach and I got wiped out just as the monster controller was being passed to me, which means Zach only got 1 action, and I passed, and then I only got 1 action.
Yeah.
Even though there was 2 of us left in the mission.
Mm-hmm.
And then Zach promptly died.
Yeah. Well, it also didn't help that you got a shattered jaw.
And I could not encourage you because I could not make you stand up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seems like there should be like a part of that rule is like once you get down to like 2 people, that thing goes away.
Thought about it. I tried to say, hey, maybe we want, but no, it's
because inevitably we are still getting those extra resources for defeating that monster with the extra characters.
It just means it only like the 3 times it doesn't happen. It's just the 2 times that it did. And there was just the worst time for it to happen. So,
and it only had like 2 wounds left, and it was just not happening.
I guess.
Yeah.
Who's your 5th? I didn't realize you guys had added a 5th.
Eric.
Ah.
He joined us like a couple years or at least a year or so at this point.
Yeah, something like that. But we hadn't played in quite some time either.
Yeah.
So. They're busy playing like 3 or 4 different Gloomhaven campaigns at the same time.
And Frosthaven, including Frosthaven.
Yeah, Gloomhaven,
Crimson Scales,
and Frosthaven.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're crazy people.
They have a Crimson Scales and Frosthaven campaign going on right now.
Yes.
And then they did 3 Jaws of Lion campaigns and like 2 Gloomhaven campaigns on top of that. So
they like that game.
Yeah, they love that game.
Anyway,
it's probably why they like Spirit Island.
Yeah. But Jeff was able to kill it, thankfully, because we would have lost all the shit that we got.
Sure.
Had he not. So then we got our good characters, and we unlocked we then fought the Gigalion, right?
Yes, we fought the Gigalion, which is only level 2 or 3. It was part of a vignette series, which they've never done before. That came with basically a bunch of models and a fancy like level 2.5 lion.
Yep. So we fought it, but we fought it with our good characters and just
dismembered it.
Disrespected the Gigalion.
Yeah. Just like no, like I immediately cut its hand off or something, which means it couldn't you ignore grab on all of its cards, and the lion's main move is grabbing, like taking someone and running far away from everyone else and doing a bunch of damage to it. Now it just goes up to you and then runs away because it doesn't grab you.
Yeah.
I feel like that's another thing where like chopping its hand off, like I don't imagine it running like if a lion was to run up to me and grab me and run away with me, I feel like I would be clenched in its jaws.
So the
not
thing
in
about
its
the
hand.
so the thing about the grabbing and the white lions is they have like human-y hands and not
Creepy.
like cat hands.
Yeah. But with claws.
Yes.
This was also the first time that I had used,
and also like fishhook claws, not like regular claws.
Yeah, it's like it's they're pretty creepy.
Yeah.
But it was the first time
I have 6 appendages, or is its front?
No,
its front 2 are regular hands, and then it has like regular cat hindquarters.
Yes.
It would be so awkward for a cat to run with human hands with fishhook claws.
It probably would.
There's a lot of things in Kingdom Death that would be awkward if you actually, like, if you try and think about how the Sunstalker moves.
Just think about how many hands are coming out of everywhere.
Yeah. It's not, but this is the first time I used a grand weapon, which is, in this case.
That's why we hunted the Gorm.
Yes, we hunted the Gorm so I could get a rib.
So you could get the fucking.
The grand weapon. So our superhero characters, they get a bunch of speed.
A grand weapon is basically Cloud's sword from Final Fantasy.
Something akin to
Imagine your anime giant sword.
Yeah.
Okay.
So all all of our superpower characters have like 3 to 4 extra speed on them, meaning that just a regular old weapon is like rolling 5 or 6 dice.
When you're throwing a bone dart at speed 1, you're getting 5.
Yeah, just 5 dice.
Which
is I did
threw at the Giga Lion at one point, and it was like a fucking machine gun kicking off. Imagine Looney Tunes when you have all the bullet holes in you.
Yeah.
That's what all of his stupid, like, fucking darts did.
Yeah, I just picked it, and it just
and it was just crit.
Yeah.
Because he's critting on 6s or something.
Yeah, critting on 6s
instead
and
of 10s.
The grand weapon that I want to get specialized on, and I only roll 1 die, which doesn't seem good.
Because it's
slow. But here's the thing. When you're doing hit locations in this game, for every hit you have, you draw a hit location, and when you draw a trap, that's it. Your turn's over, bad shit happens to you, and none of those things get hit. If we're all throwing 4 to 5 dice at a time, the chances of hitting the trap is actually a lot more than you would expect.
Yes, significant.
And so the nice thing about this is that if I just want to do one, like I can just do one like I can just hit it once with that.
Okay.
And then once I get specialized, I'll be able to like knock it down. And then so basically what's going to happen is the start of the turn, I'm going to go over to it, hit it. I hit on 2 pluses on my dice.
You can only fail on 1s.
I can only fail on 1s.
It's technically a 1+ when you hit.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'll have 11 strength on this weapon. So basically, I hit on 2 pluses more or less on that, unless it's like a level 3 monster they're fighting, and I crit on 5 pluses with this weapon. So more than 50% chance every time I hit it, I'm gonna crit it, which would knock it down.
Okay.
Knocking it down cancels all the reactions, and the reactions can be a lot of bad stuff of like you hit it and
or it moves away.
Or if you fail the wrong part, it can hurt you and shit like that. So I start my turn, I would just hit it, knock it down, and then we would just beat the shit out of it until it traps.
Someone gets a trap.
And then just cycle repeat. It's gonna be really interesting when we get to that time.
Yeah.
But on this one I hit it once, and then I had to go again, and I couldn't get we didn't want some damage, so it was just bone darts and just destroy.
And just like everything you were critting was some sort of permanent injury, so it was just like its organs are dragging behind it. And it has to roll if every time it activates. On a 1, it takes an extra wound.
Yeah. And got a lot of resources. It was funny. So Mercy killed that thing eventually.
Inevitably. I cut off its ding dong, and we had critically injured it enough to where it had so many minus movement tokens. I moved faster than it, so every time when you cut off the lion's ding dong, it puts you as the priority target, which means you have to be the target if it can ever choose the target, no matter what.
Yeah. I mean, I'd definitely go after somebody if they cut off my ding dong.
But I would just outrun it every time, and it would only go to me. It would just try and run after me and do nothing. Yeah. And everyone else would just fucking smash it.
Yeah, and we like our evasions, it was like it would have to hit on like an 8+.
Yeah.
And it
had like minus accuracy. We had a plus evasion. We were critting it all over the place to just get extra resources.
Yep.
And then we turned it into like a mega lion skin cloak that does basically all the same stuff, but it's bone, so it actually counts as armor. So I actually have one armor in a location.
Yeah.
But every time we arrive, everyone gets a survival from it, which is really
nice.
And then I could take the one I had and hand that out to someone else, which reduces damage, which is critical for our survival.
Yep. And then the final mission that we did was against the Dragon King. Since we had that one start, we were able to hunt that now. Okay. And this was nice because Eric had played like several campaigns with us, like mini campaigns of it, and it was always the same fucking monster. So it's nice that like he never fought the Gorm, he didn't fight the Giga Lion, he hadn't fought the Dragon King. So it was good for him to see
with the Tyrant even.
Yeah. All these new characters that handle very differently.
Okay, awesome.
So this one, giant, it's the biggest model that Paul has.
It's probably the biggest model that there is. No, I guess Spider Clues or whatever it is.
Yeah,
is bigger, but it's like spindly.
Yeah,
with like tiny arms and stuff.
This one's this is big dragon,
but this is a colossal fucking dragon. A 4x4.
Yep. We had to go with shitty characters on this one
because all of our other ones got fucking skip next hunt again.
Yeah. is real annoying.
Yeah.
But
So your shitty characters are like super critting and stuff, or did
No,
you
no.
have like one mission in the middle that was your good
The
character?
Gigaline was
Okay.
all the good character. The
Yeah.
Gorm was all the bad ones, and everyone died.
yeah,
And then we had the Gigaline, and we disintegrated it, and then we had all to skip next hunt again, and so we had to take the shitty characters
Yep.
again.
those
we've
were
had
all
a-
of our shitty. Like only we had to have.
We only have 10, so
Yeah.
5 are skip next hunt. We had to take the other 5,
Well,
and we had to.
no, there's
use,
only
like,
4. There was only 4. It was 9.
and we had to do intimacy to make more characters.
We had to make a baby to fight so that we could actually do
Yes.
something.
Nothing like sending a baby out to fight.
Yeah.
Yes. The dragon. That's a very fun fight. But it can
absolutely fuck you up.
It can fuck you up. And Eric got to experience what happens with the
and
trap.
Thursby,
Yeah. When you get hit with the dragon trap, Dragon King trap.
you go skyward.
He punches you into space.
There, you go into a realm with no sound or orientation or something like that.
Yeah.
Basically, you get punched up into space.
Damn.
And then our next turn, you fall down.
You thud back
You
to
thud
Earth.
back. So the first thing that happened is Eric got hit, immediately got his destroyed back, which
-2 movement.
it's a severe injury, -2 movement.
You cannot use any weapons that have more than 1 strength.
Yeah, you can't really hold anything.
Yeah.
It's like
Couldn't even throw bone darts.
Couldn't even
those
throw
have a 3.
those are true. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he went into space, and then he came down. You take 4 damage. The problem with the people of the skull is that we can't really have armor.
Yes.
So when we take damage, boy howdy, it's a severe
Yeah,
injury
you are
roll
taking
every
severe.
time.
You're taking severe.
Yeah.
Basically, anytime you actually get hit.
Yeah. So he took 4 damage to the foot or to the leg. Leg fell off.
Dismembered leg.
Dismembered leg.
Another -2 movement.
So he had 2 movement.
He was at 6 movement.
He was at 6.
so
and-
he's only down to 2.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can still pogo around on one leg.
What?
And that's what he
You
was
can't
doing.
you can't dash though, unfortunately, because like our good characters can move like 8 to 9.
Yeah.
And
I would say 7.
mine can move 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's because you've done the same one more than once.
Yeah.
That's
3 times. Yes.
Yeah. Cool.
Well,
Can't wait till that dies.
he won't die.
I
This
promise
hey,
I will
This is
never
the
die.
iridescent high guy, so he has 3 armor everywhere, man. All right. He actually has armor that's his skin.
That's why we were doing the People of Stars, because there's a bunch of these special fighting arts that get you extra armor for like iridescent hide for every because all the items have these like blue and green connections. For every color connection you have that is unique, you get +1 armor at all locations. So that will technically give you armor, which normally we would have none.
Yeah. But then Thursby, he got knocked up into space too. But we beat him. No, we didn't get a chance to beat him.
Thursby went last and got the trap, which meant no one had Eric was the only one that had a chance to do anything,
Yeah.
and he went 2 spaces and didn't do anything. So,
Boop, boop. All right.
and you fall to the ground.
Yeah. Also took a leg injury, but it was just a
I don't remember what it was.
or hamstring or something like that.
Yeah, yes, probably hamstring or something like that.
Leg didn't fall off.
His leg did not fall off when he hit the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the dragon does something special. It's called Meltdown. It starts at like a higher toughness than normal for a level 1. It starts at like 13 toughness, but basically every round it gets like a negative toughness token, but when it hits -5, it melts down, which it shoots a giant giga beam in front of it, and it had gone all the way to the edge of the board. So literally in front of it was off the edge of the board and affected nothing or no one.
Yeah. It was great. It just happened immediately, and then we didn't have to worry about it.
And it was like, okay, now we can just finish killing you.
Yeah.
Yeah, the dragon was interesting. There was a smidge more danger there, but but now we can make the dragon stuff, which some is actually bone, which we could actually use. So
Okay.
Yeah. Our next fight's going to be against the Tyrant level 2, which that's our like king dude who's leading our settlement.
Yes.
But it's going to be with our good characters. So
yeah, so we will hopefully crit the shit out, because it has a lot of challenges, and if you crit on those challenges, you get a lot of like really nice stuff.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
yeah. I think we're doing that in like 5 weeks.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah. So that is, a cooperative dungeon campaign-driven game with miniatures.
Yes.
So now we're going to talk about a cooperative dungeon-based campaign game with miniatures called Middara Unintentional Malum Act 1.
God, that fucking name, man.
Yeah. It's very anime.
It is.
We did talk about the first session, right?
No.
We have not talked about it at
the
all?
last time we talked about, we had mentioned that we had just finished Descent.
Yeah, because I think we were talking about it on Slack or something.
Yes.
Because I was like, oh, what's that? And then you informed me as to just how anime it was, and I was like, nah, I think I'm good, fam.
Yeah.
So this one is anime.
Yep.
A lot of equipment.
So much equipment.
A little Kingdom Death in there with the amount of equipment.
Yeah.
But the actual gameplay is a little more traditional, I guess.
Yeah, and it's very, very story based.
Extremely story based.
So there is so much story that there is a voiceover app that you can get that like reads it for you.
Sure.
Also, Thursby is in both Kingdom Death and
Middara.
Middara.
I ended up like showing Thursday, and he was like, "Oh fuck, I want to be in on this game."
Yeah.
But when I was looking over on the app itself for the voiceover, it was like, Frosthaven was like 3.5 hours, almost 4. Gloomhaven was like 5. There's another one that was like maybe 6 or 7. This is almost 21 hours of voiceover for the story in this game. The book is very thick, extremely thick, and in fact, there's so much story in here that the game designers even made a Spark Notes. Like, not only is there a voiceover to be like, hey, here, this is going to make it easier to read it, but also you just can't, you just do not want to do it. Here's the Spark Notes. It's still
between our first and second session, there was about 40 minutes of voiceover.
Jesus Christ.
That you would listen
to.
Yeah.
And then like Paul was very like, why the fuck is, and then we're like,
I believe I was the one that made the call. I was the one.
No, I was going to say that. No, I was going to say, Paul was like, why the fuck, why is it so long? And it's like, you've never played a JRPG or any of these games that have like 40 minutes.
I think we talked about how much cutscene there was in Metal Gear Solid 4, Sons of the Patriots.
There's one.
Well, I used to play like a lot of Final Fantasy, and there's just so much exposition.
And that's what this game's about. Yeah,
I believe it was famous for having a 70-minute cutscene in the game.
Yep. But yeah, Jeff, Paul graciously, like, you could tell, like, Paul like was all for it, but he was like, I'll let the group decide. And then Jeff was just like, let's just go to the Spark Notes.
Yeah.
And it was funny, that 30-minute.
He was like, Jeff said it.
Jeff said it. And we're like, all right. It was funny though. I pulled up the Spark Notes and what we had to read. It was still like 10 paragraphs of stuff, but that was the Spark Notes.
Yeah. It was pretty ridiculous.
Yep. But yeah, this game it's cooperative. It
has a lot of numbers.
It's got 8 different types of dice.
Yep.
That's a lot of dice.
That have different ranges. It's like 2 to 6, like 2 to 8, and then like a 3 to 8.
It's like tiers.
Then, like as you go up in the tier system. And then there's 2 sets that are kind of the same, but some have more books and some have more shields.
Yeah.
And depending on your character, they might want more shields versus more books.
Yep.
But generally have the same number.
So if you were playing a campaign game and you're like, I feel like I don't have enough choice on what I want to do with this character, you should play this game.
It's pretty blank slate.
It's like everybody has like, like my ability is I can get SP, which is like energy, stamina more or less,
action points.
Paul can hold a little bit more, and like there's some like he can hold another.
I can re-roll my dodge die.
Yeah, but so there's like little things like that.
That's all your, and then you have like skill tests that are a little weird.
Yeah.
But that's all like story stuff. I haven't seen that on actually like items or anything.
It only really matters for like jumping over shit.
Yeah.
So far, but there are like the first items that we could buy in terms of like weapon. It was like, well, here's 30 different weapons you could buy from. Here's, like the armor and stuff, a little bit less on here, but there's skills. So there's like 6 different skill trees. And they all do like, some's like blood magic. Some of them are like martial things. Some are like rogue-esque things. There's like summoning. But like each one of the different trees has about 6 or 7 base skills that you can then go 4 skills deep into, like 4 levels of skills. And it's got so much shit in it.
Yeah, there's like 8 level 1s, 6 level 2s in each of the trees.
Yep. And it's like every time we finished a scenario, and there's like
unlike Descent,
you
got an experience.
Yeah, yes, Descent really liked to bogart those XP.
It did.
This one is everyone. Here's XP. Fuck.
By the end of the second session, we had a second skill.
Yeah,
nice.
Yep.
Yeah, it was nice.
One thing that I like about this too is that each one of the different scenarios, you don't necessarily reset in between each scenario. If it's truly like different parts of things that you're doing, it will be like you only heal like half health, and certain things stay flipped versus don't stay flipped. And like you lose some statuses, but you keep like certain abilities and things like that.
There's like an encounter refresh. When you finish an encounter, sometimes that encounter will not let you refresh before the next encounter.
Yeah.
So anything you've used will stay used.
Yep.
And you won't like refresh your stamina or anything like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But this game is also like already just even with the 2 skills that we have right now, and we're very base, like we have mundane equipment, like we can already combo a bunch of shit. Yeah. And it's just gonna get crazy, some of the stuff that we can do later. Inevitably, yeah. This is the AI. So the enemies are AI driven. So each of the cards has like an if then sort of tree of like, oh, is somebody next to you? Then you do this stuff. Is there somebody? Can you get into range of somebody else? Do these things. So
is there someone with is there a friendly unit with a buff? Is there an enemy unit with a buff? And then it would like remove the positive or negative buff depending.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So it's very clear on like what they're all doing. Because there's definitely a lot of games we've played. It's like, oh, maybe they want to do this. It's like, oh, do they maybe go over here? I don't know. Especially when it's just card based or even AI based sometimes.
It doesn't seem like there's a lot of edge case.
Yes.
So far.
Yeah.
Once we learned that if they're out of range and can't do anything, they'll just stand there.
Yeah.
It's very MMO where you have to get into like aggro range of something to be able to like have it activate. Like if it can't do anything in its thing, it just stands there.
But it does have things built into it to be like you can't really cheese it.
You can't just be like, oh well, we don't get into aggro range, so we can just go and do all the treasures and stuff. If something doesn't activate, we get like a timer tick against us, and we can only get so many of those before it will just game over our scenario.
Yeah,
interesting.
Or if you like run up there to go attack something and then like run back so that it doesn't activate, it has a thing where
it'll get an aggro counter.
Yeah, so that it then it'll start fucking coming towards you. So you can't just be like, oh, boom, cheese, and then run away, cheese, run away.
It has an anti-cheese mechanic.
Yes. But it's fun. I'm liking it so far. It seems like all of us are.
Yeah, it's a little weird. All the movement is orthogonal, but range is omnidirectional.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's just adjacent when range and adjacency includes diagonal, otherwise it doesn't.
But your movement is only, up, down, left, right.
Yeah.
But everything else is omnidirectional.
2 other things. One, line of sight does play a big part in this game.
The map tiles are really nice.
Yeah.
Like they have a really nice gloss emboss on there.
Mechs versus Minions. You played that, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Has that same like quality of map tiles as that does.
And there's a lot of them, and it's diverse enough to where like we've used the same ones, but the way that they're orientated makes it feel unique.
Yep. And like the terrain on there has different,
and the terrain is different shapes.
Yeah.
Like it's like the terrain that blocks you is in like unique shapes and not just a square that you can't look through.
Yeah. And so line of sight plays so much an importance in here that I had seen like some people get like laser, like lines, a line thing for it. I was looking on Amazon for them, and it was like $30 or some shit for that. And I was like, thing, and I went on to Harbor Freight, and they had one for $5 that like you could just put on a saw or something. So I just bought that, and it's been working great for that.
Yeah, because it's center tile to center tile.
Yeah.
Okay.
Center tile. Yeah. So you just look, and if there is any obstructing thing, then it blocks it.
But also, if there's difficult terrain between you and there, it's a -1. If there's a friendly character between you and there, it's a -1. So it depends on what it's also going through.
Yeah. And then the other main thing that is interesting about this one is it has a lot of hidden information in the game, and the book has a bunch of. Do you remember those?
Have you ever
like
seen
decoder
the board
things?
Have you ever seen Decrypto, the board game?
Yes.
It's like that with all the text.
Yeah. So there's a bunch of like red blocks that you have a red panel thing.
Yeah, it's like a clear red plastic.
Yeah, red plastic that you can put over the text, and then you can actually read it. So
because there's like red treasure, blue treasure, green treasure.
Yeah.
And when you unlock one, you have to put the little thing over and be like, "What's in the green treasure?"
Yeah, so you don't accidentally spoil yourself on certain things.
So you can't.
Sure.
And there are
Which is neat.
Yeah, there's objectives in there to get, but there's also things called totems, which are line of sight. So as soon as you get into line of sight of it, which once again the laser goes for, it those activate, and then you see stuff and things like that. So it works. I think it works very well.
Nice.
It's not, like I said, it's not app-based, but it's definitely a lot closer to something like Descent in that style than like some of the other ones.
It's a definite solid dungeon crawler.
Yeah.
Cool.
Spared no expense so far.
Yeah.
Not counting all of the absurd Kickstarter bonus bullshit. I'm sure there is.
Which are basically just characters, and from what I can see so far.
Yeah.
So
will they be in the campaign, or do you have to? Is there like a collection thing in the app? Well, the book is the app, so like, how does the book know which characters you have?
I don't know. Well, like I said, I know we can unlock more characters as the game goes through, and then we'll see what it does. But I think it's mainly you can use them in the
there's like a skirmish mode.
Yeah,
or
the
something.
crawl sort of thing.
Gotcha.
So little dungeon just little things. Yeah. So
Gotcha.
But the general story is sort of weird. Like, Earth is a place, and also this Middara is a place, and you have like traveled to Middara, which is this modern fantasy setting.
It's basically an isekai sort of thing. You go there from another world, Earth, to there. You sort of like become
and you don't age.
Yeah, and you like become your like true self. There is a lore video. I haven't watched it yet, but I think it gets more into like
what this place is.
Yeah, but
most of the people we play with do not care.
Yeah.
So
Sure. For as much as Paul doesn't give a shit about like story and campaign elements in these games, it's amazing how many of them he plays.
He's there for the mechanics.
Yeah, he's there for the mechanics.
Yep.
So,
which is funny to me because most of the games, if it wasn't for the story, I would not enjoy the games. Like, it's just interesting how Paul and I approach that differently.
Yeah, I don't know of a board game where Paul has been invested in the like
Lore. Yeah.
I know he seemed super into it when on all the Lord of the Rings JIME stuff. He was really
absolutely.
Paul also primarily reads nonfiction. I'm not sure he cares about any lore anywhere.
Yes.
Okay. So that's Middara.
Okay.
Yeah. Midara's so far so good.
Yep.
Anything else for you, Zach?
I'm good.
Okay.
34 minutes. I'm okay.
I know you're pulling an Adrian over here.
Yeah.
Jeff, how about you? Anything
Those
else
were the two games that I played.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, then, for my own self, so at the most recent game night at Denver Beer Company, that for some reason I keep saying D-Bolt. So Taylor,
because they start with D.
Yeah, and it was the first of the which
used
to
the
only
first of the
be,
month,
yeah.
and that's really what's been throwing me off.
Yeah.
Friend and former fan of the show. I don't know if she actually listens to the podcast anymore.
No one does.
Taylor came out. So Taylor had previously sent us Blades in the Dark and used to live down there. One of the games.
Okay. Thought it was the other Taylor.
Yeah, different Taylor.
Yeah, okay. Now that makes more sense. Okay.
Yeah. So she had come out. They were traveling on their way to Tulsa to go play in a tournament for a game, and I don't remember the name of the game because it was loud as shit at DBC, and I barely heard her. But it was basically, do you remember the app-generated game Keyforge?
Yes.
So it's basically like the new version of that, because the Keyforge stuff, they got like pay...
Is it the new Keyforge
I think
that
it's
a different
basically the
publisher
new
took
Keyforge,
over?
yeah.
Okay.
So
but it is still Keyforge.
It definitely had a, like, maybe it has like a new subtitle.
It does,
or something.
yes, yeah.
But it's just Keyforge.
Yeah, there was something slightly different. But so they'd kind of gotten into that. So they were going to Tulsa to play in a tournament and decided to stop in Denver for a few days, see the wonderful sights of Denver, come to game night and all of that. So I played Pandemic Rising Tide.
Was that possibly Winds of Exchange?
No.
Okay, that's
was
the
definitely
that's the Game Found crowdfunded version that they came out with.
But it might not be the actual like direct sequel to Keyforge. Then.
Gotcha.
It might be just Keyforge adjacent. It is still procedural generated cards.
Yes.
And it's like very much like, I guess you get a lot of times like at the tournaments you do like cubes, like a cube draft, and then like they have like each day you can do like different things, and they're really trying to build communities. Like everybody does meals together. I don't know, it sounded kind of fun. But anyway, at game night we played Pandemic Rising Tide. I had not played in a very long time. I've had it in my bag the last few nights. I know Kaiser likes it, and so I'd been kind of wanting to play it some more. Megan and I are going to try to pick 12 games from our shelf this year that we don't play often enough and try to get them played this year. Like just one.
Noggin the Nog.
Noggin the Nog is on the list.
Nice.
Yeah. It has been unshrinked and punched.
Oh,
so, yeah.
Oh, wow. You've finally given up on that other.
Up.
I did. I also, that'll. Anyway, Rising Tide, we got fucking wrecked. So one, I'm not even going to pretend to have confidence we were playing correctly. There could have been a great deal that we were misplaying in it.
Probably.
You were playing to stop the rising tide, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well,
yes.
at least you're doing that right.
You're not letting the water in?
The name of the game is Rising Tide. I think that's what we're supposed to do, right, guys?
Yeah.
Just make the water go
We're
up.
directing it to have the most water.
Yeah, I actually made up a mechanic for how you could like just burn huge sections of the forest to release more CO2 in the air to increase the sea levels.
Yeah.
But yeah, we ended up losing in like round 4 or 5. Due to running out of water cubes. We did not do nearly good enough job of building dikes and pumping out water. We had almost all the pumps built, so we were pumping out a lot of water, but then it would just all come right back.
Right.
If the pump is underwater, it's not doing much.
Yeah. Well, these pumps in that game have to be in water. If they're not in water, they don't work.
Yeah.
Yeah. They don't cross dry land.
Let's say the in and out are both underwater.
Yeah, not gonna do much.
No.
At that point, you're just making the water spin.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're making a nice.
It's just a river. It's just a river with extra steps.
Yes. So we lost at that, which was unfortunate. It was still fun. I definitely want to play a little bit more to try and get familiar with it again. It has been one of my favorite versions of Pandemic.
I remember being quite hard.
Yes, it is. It is one of the more difficult ones. Megan came by and she's like, I don't know if I've played this. She's like, oh no, I definitely have. This is the one. This is the one where you're fighting the older viruses in Spain, right? And I was like, no, that is Pandemic Iberia,
Yeah.
Which is probably
Iberia.
my favorite basic.
That is my second.
Yeah.
Or well, they're both right. I don't really have them ranked 1 and 2. Those are my 2 favorite.
I would say I would agree with that, but Iberia is number 1. Yeah.
Not Pandemic World of Warcraft?
No.
Wrath of the Lich King?
That's not the worst one, though. That's still Reign of Cthulhu.
Yeah, Reign of Cthulhu, real bad.
Well, we haven't played Clone Wars.
That's true.
That's a fair point. Not going to either.
I see it on a lot of sales.
Anyway, so we got done with that, and then we went over, found a different table more in the corner where it was a little bit quieter, and Taylor had brought Cockroach Poker, which I have heard of. On I think various other podcasts and stuff, people have always spoken very highly of it, and sure enough, it was stupid amounts of fun. So basically, in Cockroach Poker, you have a deck of cards. It's divided into what could be called 6 suits. They're like basically 6 different types of creepy crawly insect. There was like spiders, scorpions, rats, bats, toads, and stink bugs. And you deal out the whole deck. So every player has like, 10 or so cards, depending on how many people you're playing with. And on your turn, you take a card and you put it face down and you slide it over or give it to another player and you make a claim like this is a cockroach. And then that player has a choice. They can do basically one of 3 things. They can say, no, it's not, and flip it over, or say, yes, it is, and flip it over. In either of those cases, if they call it right, you get it back and it goes face up in front of you. If they're wrong, they get it face up in front of them. The third option is they can look at it and then pass it to another player making a claim. So I could pass it to Zach, say, this is a rat. Zach could take a look at it and then pass it to Jeff and say, this is a bat. And then Jeff has to decide which of us is more likely to be lying. Or we could both be lying and it could be a stink bug. And so basically gameplay kind of continues like that. Whoever gets a card, it's now their turn and they're giving one away. This is a game you cannot win. You are playing not to lose. There's one loser. Everyone else is not the loser. And the way you lose is if you ever don't have a card to play when it is your turn, or if you ever get 4 of the same card. So if you have 4 bats or 4 rats, so on. We saw the game. I think we played 2 rounds of it. The first round, the person who lost from not having a card to play. They ended up having like 1 or 2 of a lot of different cards, which means like they were getting a lot, so they were playing a lot and they ran out. In the other game, that person went like double duty loss, where like they were probably going to lose for running out of cards, and so then they just also made sure they lost for hitting 4 of a kind.
Okay, all right.
And so, yeah, it was a bunch of fun. The bluffing and shenanigans in it is a bunch of fun. You can talk a lot of shit. There's definitely like a little bit of, you can sense it, the table turned against someone when they get like 2 of a thing, or heaven forbid 3 of a thing. Then everyone's just like, oh no, now we got to get them that 4th one. Like they're fucked. Some people were being really shitty, where like you pass them a card and this is a rat, and then without looking, they just pass it to somebody else and be like, this is a rat. And it's like, fuck. It's always a relief when you hand it to someone and then they pass it, because now you're like out.
Okay, I was
like,
going to ask, yeah.
Yeah. So like if I passed it to you and then you passed it to Jeff, it's now you and Jeff who are going through the like who's telling the truth and
then Jeff, the pro skill move, then slides it over to you and says
yeah. Yeah. Thankfully the rules do state you're not allowed to go back to someone who's already had it. But yes. It was a bunch of fun. Then we played a couple games of Hanabi. Those
I did play that with Kyle from Sounding Board.
Oh, okay.
Long ago.
Sure.
When it was like impossible to find.
Yeah. Yeah, she had made a big deal like about hers, like she had found way back when it was hard to find, and like had actually managed to get one that was like English rules.
Yeah.
Because apparently for a long time it was all just German. Aside from those that I played at game night on Wednesday, just today, Megan and I played 2 more missions of JIME. So we're playing the I don't remember what the title of this scenario is. It's like the warg terrorizing the Shire. It's the first digital expansion.
Yeah.
So
it's just like Sword Tooth or Coal Tooth,
something like that.
How many more do you still have? Do you have any more expansions?
I've not bought any more.
Okay.
No, I intend to go buy Black and Red at some point and snap up a lot of what they have left.
Okay.
And every time they post on Facebook about their used section, I'm scanning it for JIME stuff to run over there and grab. Yeah. So this one was interesting. So we had done some missions, and then we went to the Shire, and like they were like, okay, well, you have to go north to the Blue Mountains, but first you can do like these 2 preparation missions. And we did them both, and one of them went really easy and was done like before the threat counter was even halfway.
Did you switch out of Legolas, or did you keep him?
I have kept Legolas.
Okay.
Yeah. So I kept Legolas. I switched out Gimli for Dees. Megan went all new characters. She's doing Bilbo and Gandalf. She's doing Gandalf as the meddler, Bilbo as the burglar. I have Dees as the armorer, and Legolas as the hunter.
I thought we had guilted you out.
You had not.
Just use Legolas every time.
It's just too much fun. Although I'm not having as much fun. Now, some of that's because I went from like full tricked out Legolas to like beginner Legolas.
Yeah.
So we'll see where I am at the end with my enjoyment of Legolas, but I might be ready to move on. I'm really enjoying Dees as the armorer. The armorer is a cool.
Isn't that Smith?
Might be Smith.
Yeah.
I like a lot of how it's like very aggressive, but also kind of support dwarf. But yeah, so we did the 2 missions before going to the Blue Mountains. The first one we did super fast, super easy. And we were like, oh, okay. Like, that feels like that didn't take that much time. But we didn't really feel like we got anything for it. It was like we got a bunch of lore and experience, so that's kind of nice. I was like, all right, well, let's go ahead and do the other one. We were debating about, like, is the game going to really punish us for doing both? We don't know. That one was fucking bullshit. It took, like, I don't know. I don't feel like we fucked around or did a lot to waste time, but we ran out of time. Like, we had
that happen once or twice, yeah.
And it was just like, the fuck could we have done different? Like, not failed on the 2 checks we failed on, so we would have been 2 steps further. Like, it was very frustrating.
Just can't fail. It was your fault for failing.
And it was one that was really bad about the bullshit where, like, you have, like, 4 tokens that are, so you're going to get 12. And so you're like, okay, well, we got to do some exploration. And then you explore, and, like, each one of those triggers, like, 3 or 4 more. And it's like, okay, great. Yeah. We're going to get fucking 20 this turn. And, so we both ended in a very unhappy mood from JIME. And so then we went downstairs and played video games. So that was it for what we played, for what I played for board game wise.
Zach, you also played the Zen Garden Karesunsui. So was it?
You tell me it's on the screen that you. Is that it?
Karesunsui.
Yes, that sounds right.
Cool.
100% right.
Yes.
I played that at not Diebold, Denver Beer Co. While you were playing Rising Tide. Played that with 4 people. Kaiser brought it out. The table we had was just big enough to hold them with the 4 people that were playing. Rock Gardens, yes. So we were playing, I guess, so everybody has your own little rock garden that has 5 different colors.
It's definitely like I cut, you choose. Is that what it is, or is it?
No. So what it is? So everybody has a board that's 1 through 3, and then it's 5 different colors, and then there's a center board that, depending on how many people are playing, are going to have different areas of rocks on them, and each section of rock it can count 6 or more in terms of the hashes on them.
Okay.
So they can be marked 1 through 3 in each of the different colors. That goes to the corresponding spot on your board. On your turn, you're going to bid on one of these spots, and if there's like 4 people playing, then there are 3 spots. So once all the bidding is done, one person's going to have to pass.
Like musical chairs.
Yeah. There are, at least when we played, 4 different card piles that had increasing number of points on them. You don't want points, but they have different conditions on them, and it could be 3 of a rock on the same space, or 4 spaces in one row filled up, or the 1, 2, and 3 of any color filled up. And then there was also a card that was just, if you pass, you just get a card that's worth 1 point. Then you also draw 1 tile or 1 token from the bag.
Okay.
That's random. So you could still, even by passing, you could still get something that causes you to get extra points from those cards, because you're going to be bidding, like I said, but you're bidding the stones on your personal rock garden.
Sure.
On this little rake, you put it in front of the one you want, and then somebody else can then bid a lesser amount of rocks on that one. So you can either do it, say it was they bid 3 1 rocks, that's 3 hashes on it. You could bid either 2 or less hashes, or you could even put a single 3 rock out there, because it's less total number of rocks. If it's the same amount of hashes. Otherwise, you need to go lower on the hashes. But then you could go all the way up to bidding nothing. So you're not getting rid of any of your stones, but you're just getting the stones that are on the little area. But then once somebody passes, meaning that everybody else can get some of those rocks, you pick up your section of those rocks you just won, and you put them on your board, and then you check to see if anybody meets any of those conditions that basically that can get those cards, which once again are negative points.
Sure.
So
Because you have little rakes that you're putting rocks on?
Yeah, that's your bidding.
Okay.
So if you bid less rocks on there, you have a higher chance of getting it, but you're getting rid of less rocks, and you're always adding more rocks to your rock garden. And then if you ever get one of those cards, you get to take the rocks off of your garden at least. But sometimes you can have things to you get something that causes like multiple things to happen at once. So it was interesting. I'm curious to see what it would be like with more people. We played at 4. It could be up to 6. And that seems like
it's best at 4, but there is not there's 6 total votes for
yeah, exactly. But it was fun. It went over quick though when we were playing with 4 people. I feel like
because you can get this game for between $10 and $20.
Oh yeah. There is a counting up section on the center board that there's a black rock that gets put on that, and then once it goes all the way around the board, it goes into the bag, and then once you draw that rock out, that's the end of the game.
Okay.
So it could go longer, but it could also go real short too. So I feel like the majority of people like I think our final scores were like 2, 3, and 4 points. So, but the low scores. Yeah, the cards can go from like 1 point all the way up to like 10 points.
Okay.
On each of them. So I feel like more people. And then also if it goes longer, then you have a higher chance of, because it's all about like balancing a bunch of plates at once. Eventually it's going to crash down, but it just didn't feel like it crashed down that much.
Okay.
So this is an Eagle Griffin game.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I enjoyed it. I would like to play with more people, but yeah.
Right on.
Now we're done.
Now we can do banter things.
2 minutes, go.
Last of Us continues to be great.
The show, yes.
Yes. And I started playing Last of Us 2, which is also great.
Yes.
That my copy?
It is.
Okay.
Yeah. It was actually kind of funny. The other day, Zach was like, "Hey, Adrian, what like PlayStation games of mine do you have?" And I realized that like I don't think I have a physical copy of any game of my own. I've got a couple digital copies, but every physical game I have here for my PlayStation is either Zach or Jeff's.
Yep. Sounds right.
I have not watched the show yet.
You still haven't started the show?
No.
For shame.
I have not been in the mood to watch that show.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I found out he wanted. I was like, "What the hell?" And then he's like, "I don't want to be depressed right now." And I was like,
"Yeah,
you know what? I get it. That's fine. That's fine."
Yeah, I know the game. I just don't want to. I just want to do it. I'm sure it's great. I'll watch it inevitably. Yeah. I'm sure I'll enjoy it very much.
Mm-hmm. No,
I just don't want to do it.
I think you said you started watching it. And then you realize
I was like, they're really digging deep. Yeah. They're making me care more than I ever would. I'm just going to go ahead and...
You're like, oh, no.
You know what? I'm going to go back to my rewatch of Aqua Teen Hunger Force. I have gone through all 11 seasons of Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
They're making us spend the day with Sarah.
Dude, that was so brutal.
Yeah, yeah.
And although they made... I think the Frank storyline better, like the changes they made it better. It also made it incredibly heart-wrenching.
Yep.
So, yeah, such good stuff.
I'm glad that it's they're using it as an adaptation to make choices that work a lot better in TV than they do on a game.
Mm-hmm. But also just like 1-to-1 reshooting the cutscenes from the game.
Yeah,
some of them. Yeah,
some of them. Yeah.
Yeah, like the opening cutscene for this one was like there's already been like somebody matched them up on like TikTok and it's like creepy.
Yeah. There's definitely like conversations and stuff in there that are like, "Yep, we're just gonna 1-to-1 take the script and you're just gonna do what was in the game."
Yeah. I really like how many people they brought from the game into the show.
Yes,
like one of the characters from the latest episode, in episode 4.
It was Tommy's voice.
Was the voice of Tommy in the video game.
Okay.
Like they've done a bunch of cool stuff like that. I heard like at one point, like some of the actors who play like clickers and stuff were some of the mocap actors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they just used those people. Like, why change it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So some of that is just
I know a
really
guy.
cool.
He did it really well when we did it before.
And you know what? They did a better job now because the
prosthetics are fucking crazy good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it keeps increasing in viewership too.
That's good.
From 3 to 4, it went up another 17%.
Oh,
so
damn.
7.4 million now.
Holy shit.
up from 5.5 in the opening
Still hasn't
episode.
hit House of Dragon numbers.
Well, yeah, because that's
but yeah.
it's not. Yeah, it's House of Dragon is Game of Thrones, so it's
Yeah.
you know.
Well, I
Yeah,
mean,
it's a whole
after
nother
Game of
level.
Thrones and how it ended, it was kind of up in the air. Whether-
Oh yeah. No,
I never finished that either.
I still haven't even started.
Yeah.
I really liked it.
I'll watch. I've
It's-
been meaning to get around to it. I forget
Just-
about it.
Just remember, multiple traumatic childbirth scenes. That's
crowning.
yeah. I was talking to my mom about it, and she was like, "Is there any like she's gotten a little bit as she's gotten a little more aversion to violence?" And I was like, "There's multiple and she's just like, I'm good," and I'm like, I get it.
Yeah.
I have, after rewatching Aqua Teen Hunger Force, I watched a bunch of the original seasons.
Sure.
I fell off for a good chunk of seasons, and then clearly got back on towards the end because I remembered some of the last seasons, but nothing in the middle, and then a bunch of the original. And then I watched the new movie, which only just came out earlier this year or late
Something
last
like that.
year.
Yeah.
If you'd have told me that there's either 20 seasons of it or 3 seasons of it, I would have believed you either way.
There was
That is
11.
100%
Okay.
accurate.
Yeah.
Okay.
There was 11 seasons, and then there's also like a YouTube Shorts series that was around for a long time. And there's been multiple like finale seasons that have happened that they just ignore after.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I have never watched a full episode of Aqua Teen.
It's like 9 minutes at most.
Oh, well, then I probably have. I just
Yeah.
assumed those were clips.
Yeah. There's not a whole lot to them. They were like Death Clock was only like 15-minute episodes. They were definitely the era of like super short.
Gotcha.
Yep.
I never got it. Nothing I have ever watched of it did I feel like I got.
Yeah.
I mean, it was
Hand Banana.
it was 100% on brand for all of that Adult Swim stuff
Yep.
at
Yes.
that time. That and like Tim and Eric.
Yeah,
and,
same.
Yeah.
Like on all of
I
that,
never really
just
enjoyed
bounced off real
Tim
hard.
and Eric stuff.
There's definitely like a genre of like
I liked
millennial like awkward cringe absurd humor that like I just never have connected with.
Once it got to Eric Andre, I fell off because
Yeah.
that didn't hit for me at all.
I do.
But I did like Tim Heidecker in Us a
yes,
lot.
he was good in that.
He
Yeah.
was very good. And then the whale guide in Ant-Man.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah. I don't know.
I started watching for the first time Peaky Blinders. Did
Oh,
you ever watch
yeah.
that?
No, it's another one I've been intrigued by.
So
Cillian Murphy.
Yeah. Fun thing about TikTok is that you see one clip of something and then all of a sudden it's just like, hey, you want to have 200 clips of this? So I've had it happen for Sons of Anarchy, Family Guy, unsurprisingly. A bunch of things like that. But I started seeing some Peaky Blinder ones and I was like, oh, I remember I think I started to watch it in the very, very beginning because it came out in like 2014. It was like one of the first Netflix originals after like House of Cards and a couple of those other ones.
Stranger Things.
Yeah. It might have even
it was
predated.
predated. Yeah,
Orange is the New Black.
that one. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was but because it's 6 seasons now, but it's also only 6 episodes a season. So I was like, oh, this will be pretty good to catch up on. And so I've watched 3 episodes of it so far. And it is very good. I'm enjoying it. And Cillian Murphy's, his fucking light blue eyes are just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Starshine, Sunshine. What was the
Sunshine?
Sunshine.
I
I watched that many
Very good.
I watched
amazing 2/3 of a movie,
amazing
And then-
80% of a movie.
and then a decent ending of it. But
Yeah.
yeah.
And then there was a zombie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spiraled a little at the end.
Yeah.
I've been watching The Expanse finally.
Jesus.
Yeah. Way
I
behind.
looked at my copy of The Expanse the other day and I was like, boy, I like this game a lot. I sure wish its components didn't make this game dog shit.
I don't remember the components being that bad.
The board is bad. It's like they have a star field on the back and they were like, let's blur the star field on the board. And it was just like, it hurts to look at.
It's not-
like,
yeah.
Yeah, maybe I do remember that a little bit. I actually kind of want to play the game now that I've like been watching the show and like have more
I would
connection to
definitely
it.
play that.
Loving it. We are in like season 5, I feel like at this point. Like they're full on chasing the one lady's ex and her kid, and they're doing terrible things to Earth.
The rebel people.
I do bad with show names sometimes. I was doing this earlier when I was talking about Last of Us 2.
Free Navy.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're in that whole storyline. So
nice.
It's been really good. We've enjoyed it a lot.
The books are extremely good.
Yeah, I got the first one on audiobook. I haven't started listening to it yet.
Wakes.
Yeah. So yeah, been enjoying that. Been watching a lot of that. We've been watching the Vox Machina animated show on Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
Because season 2 just came out. They drop 3 episodes every Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Those are really good. I've been really impressed with them. The art style is definitely a little anime for me. If I didn't have the connection to like D&D and Critical Role, I don't know if I would like it as much. But
is this a D&D series of some sort?
Yeah, so it's
okay.
Vox Machina is the first season of Critical Role, the Matt Mercer and everybody D&D thing. They picked up a sweet animated deal, and then
I think their second one, the Hell's Bells or whatever,
Mighty Nine. Hell's Bells is season 3. That's the one currently going, which Megan is watching.
Did you guys ever watch Calamity? The one with
I watched a little bit of it, but I just don't I've never really committed.
I have never absorbed any sort of live play D&D media in any way, shape, or form.
As someone who didn't watch any of Critical Role, that was very good.
Yes,
but that's because I love Ridley Mulligan. So, which
certainly helps.
Yeah.
The only one of his I've watched all the way through was Starfield or Star something.
The new Bethesda game.
Starstruck.
Yeah.
Starstruck Odyssey.
Yeah.
That one was great.
Mm-hmm.
And that was another good case of like the algorithms. Like I don't do TikTok, but like I'll watch like the YouTube shorts, which is basically just TikTok but 2 days later.
You should watch Escape from the Bloodkeep.
I've heard that one's really good.
That's the Lord of the Rings, but from the bad guys' side.
Yeah. And isn't that the one with Matt Mercer in it?
Yes.
Yeah. So I've seen some of the clips of that one where like Matt Mercer and one of the other characters like have an interesting relationship.
Yes.
Where like one of them's like just the dumb happy helper.
Yep.
I have started listening to Hello from the Magic Tavern.
Okay. I've heard of that.
I had not listened to it before. It's weird but funny but short.
Mm-hmm.
But I hate it. I can clearly tell this podcast used to be super short. It was like 15, 20 minutes. And now it's like each of those original episodes is like 30 minutes because there's 15 minutes of ads that they have thrown on their entire library, top to bottom. And so I would love to listen to it, but I'm skipping 3 to 5 minutes of ads for every 20 minutes I'm listening to. So I'm like, I would like to listen on a commute, but I don't want to listen to fucking 2-minute ad breaks twice in this 20-minute episode.
Yeah, I've been listening to Behind the Bastards podcast on my drive to work a lot, and that is another one where like anytime they do an ad break, it's like, all right, well, I gotta just spam the 15-second skip on my fucking dashboard.
The only podcast I listen to now I pay for, so I don't have to worry about ads now, and it's very much worth the $10 a month or whatever to not have to deal with that.
Sure.
Yeah, it would probably be worth it to be on the ad-free feed.
So anyway, listeners, this is where we're going to announce that we're going to start implementing ads into the podcast.
But it's an improv comedy podcast set in the magical land of Foon. But the one guy that's the host fell through a portal behind a Burger King, but he had all his podcast equipment to him, and he still gets a Wi-Fi signal. And so he interviews all of these magical creatures that they improv like every week. And it can be quite funny because they don't care about like anything like language.
Sure.
And the wizard only introduces himself in his full name, which takes at least 30 seconds.
Yeah. Watching some of the dropout shows, especially some of the game changers they've done recently, like has greatly increased my appreciation of like real improv stuff. Like, man,
there's
people who are good at improv are fucking hilarious.
Yeah, it's some Chicago improv group that's not the Second City.
Okay. One of the game changer is about it was an improv Shakespeare company.
Okay.
That you're like, that how could that ever work? but they fucking killed it.
Yeah.
Well, and not only that too, but in Game Changer, they were like the host was like throwing in. They were getting points for like include cereal catchphrases in this or game shows.
Fortune 500 companies. Like it was amazing.
Yeah.
On Netflix, there's a little trilogy that's Middleton and Schwartz.
Yeah.
That's the one guy is John Raffio from.
He was Sonic.
Always Sunny.
He was Sonic.
Also Sonic.
He was Sonic. Yeah.
I didn't.
He's
know
been
that.
in a ton of. He was in an episode of the Star Wars Bad Batch recently.
Yeah.
Okay. Like I know I've seen him a lot in like little
and
things.
then the
here
other
and
guy
there.
was Silicon Valley.
Okay.
That main guy.
Yeah, I knew he was another one.
Yeah.
I knew I recognized him. But all three of those are fucking hilarious. So yeah, improv is great. Video games. Going briefly back to video games, I would like to tell you about my Lord and Savior Dwarf Fortress. It is amazing.
I saw that they have made. They posted how much money they've made before and then when they did the Steam release. And it was about $15K a month, which is not so bad for that game.
No.
For what it was, and especially because they were developing it for 20 years. And then when it released, they posted that they got $7 million in 1 month.
Yeah.
Damn.
And then they were like, about half of that's going to go to taxes, but that's still, and then we still have to, pay people, but that's still a hefty, like, I think it's only like 2 people, 1 person.
It's 2 brothers.
Yeah.
And only one of them codes. The other one is just an ideas guy, basically. And I think art. I think he does some of the art.
And so each of them are probably going to walk away with like a cool $1 million.
Yeah.
Like,
well, because that was part of
one.
the whole, like, one of the brothers had gotten, like, kind of sick or something.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, I need health care. And so, like, the fans, like, push, like, set up, like, a Patreon or something. So they were doing that for a while. And that's where they were getting their, like, 14,000 or 1,400 or whatever it was.
14,000.
14,000.
Yeah.
And then they were building towards the Steam release so that like they could hopefully make enough money that like he could have like good health care and like afford to take care of himself. Because the fans were like, no, we need you to keep making this game.
Yeah.
And then beyond its wildest expectations.
Yes.
I love so many of the Steam reviews on it that are just like, wait, are people really paying $20 for a game that's been free for 20 years? Like, yes, 100%.
$30. I think it was $29.99.
It could have been. I don't know. Yeah. I happily paid it.
He just pirated it. It was fine.
I had never played it before, but I very.
If you like the Rift Rim World, which is definitely heavily inspired by it.
If you wish you could play Rim World on a similar sized map, but that also had like 50 layers that you could go vertically, or then Dwarf Fortress is great for you.
Are you done with that one?
Yeah, I just love Dwarf Fortress. Right. Nothing particular to share about it.
We started a game last night.
Oh, yeah.
Tribes of Midgard.
I'll be buying it in 2 weeks.
Hey, look. Here's all of the, like, so many games I've played that are like that. They usually have like 4 people max. That's it. And then, so it's like 4 of us play.
Like
and then
Rising, like your guild was maxed at 4 or 5.
And so, like, we'd get some people playing, but then, like, too many people would get playing. And then it was just, like, some people, like, sitting out, and then it just sort of fizzled out from there. So the fact that we can just play
like
10,
Valheim, you could play with, like, as many as you wanted, which is why we played it.
For so long, yeah.
This one goes to 10, I think, so.
This one is another Viking-esque game.
Diablo-style gameplay.
Yeah, more of an action RPG style, like...
It's like survival-ish. There's no food or anything that you have to worry about in terms of
it's more of like a crafting.
Yeah,
like go out and get materials,
but
you don't have to drink or eat.
Yeah, except for just to heal yourself from the damage you take.
There is food, I guess, but it's healing items.
Yeah, it's healing items. There's also like cold and hot in this game. Biomes that you'll start taking damage if you get too hot or too cold.
There's a tree.
There's a tree in the center.
I guess people have to defend that at some point.
I don't know. There's 2 different modes to it, and then like the first mode that came out was very like around more base defense. You're trying to get a tree.
City defense where you had to like upgrade your vendors to get more armor and stuff. Where this is like you're building the crafting stations to build your equipment more than anything.
More story based. I'll tell you what's
fighting bosses.
Yeah, you're fighting bosses and stuff. Enemies in this can get pretty tall, which is cool because like you're like normal size, and then you can fight something that's like
a colossus that's
like,
actually like
bigger
actually
than your
huge.
screen. Yeah.
You can't see all of it because it goes off the top of your fucking screen.
Yeah. But what's really fun is you try and do stuff that you didn't plan for, is specifically, or you didn't learn certain aspects of the game, and then things go hilariously wrong. Because Paul, after Thursby left, Paul, Jeff, and I had a very good adventure just trying to get bodies back.
Yes. Because the second boss was in a desert that you had to take an underground path to, but we also didn't have we didn't build a fast travel thing, so we had to take a boat over every time. So we were just sort of piling up the boats. And then Zach and Paul didn't realize you can deconstruct the boats. Zach got stuck on the boat, and then something aggroed to him and killed him on the boat. Paul jumped off in the water and then died in the water, so we had to build another boat to go get his sunken corpse. And then he went over to Zach to try and help him out by sailing to the other side of this whole island. And then Zach immediately died just as Paul was about to get there. And then I was like, have you people tried to deconstruct the boats? And they were like, what's deconstruction? I was like, it's how you build and all of this stuff.
I will say, to be fair, I was stuck in the boat where it was stuck on the other boat. Like, there were two birds.
It was mostly because Paul was just ramming things and he didn't know what he was doing.
But they were basically merged at this point. Like a hop one, I couldn't get out of it, so I could not deconstruct it because I was stuck ruddering it, but just in a circle, but always forever. I couldn't get out. And
there is a reverse.
I know.
Reverse?
Oh, yes, I did.
Okay,
yes,
cool.
I did.
Push S, Zach.
Yeah, I did. I did.
To reverse.
Yeah.
You do, actually.
No, but then we thought ships were going to get destroyed too, but then like you said, you can deconstruct them.
We were like, how do you repair boats? Apparently you just deconstruct them and just deploy them again, and they're repaired.
And when you deconstruct them, they are in your back pocket. You just have a boat.
You just have it.
That you can just be like, and boat. Pocket boat.
Pocket boats, yes.
Yeah. But it seems like the world's going to be getting harder as you go along, so we can't.
It's supposed to be day to day.
Yeah.
Sure. So yeah, it's really bad for one person to go on and ramp it up for 4 days while everybody else is at work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's been fun so far.
Yeah.
The one night that we played.
Yeah.
It looked vaguely interesting. I don't know.
It's $7.
Yeah.
It's not super expensive.
I'm rotating to night shift, so I'm going to be playing a lot of Deep Rock probably again.
Yeah.
Deep Rock's my night shift game. I got all my coworkers to play it with me, so that when we're all up at 5 a.m. on our day off, we can play with each other.
There you go. That's
cool.
all I got.
I think that's a good bantery spot, unless Jeff has something else.
I just keep playing World of Warcraft.
I was right that it was a good stop.
I've almost maxed out. I've almost maxed out the reps. If I finish out all these world quests, I'll probably hit max on a couple of them.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Cool. On to some rapid fire news and Kickstarters.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of in-depth bullshit here. Starting first, we've got Funagain distribution is shutting down by this, I believe, April 30th. Funagain, fun, none.
Yeah, this does only affect the distribution side of things. The website, brick and mortar stores, and game business will remain operational.
Yeah, they did some crowdfunding distribution at one point or another, so I think they're going to finish out all of what they had, and then they're just going to kind of shut all that shit down.
Yeah, just warehousing and everything got too expensive for them.
Yeah, so understandable.
We'll see how that affects Kickstarter, things. I know they handled a lot, so we'll see.
They did, yeah. So hopefully no one was planning on that.
Right. Oh, I'm going to launch Kickstarter next month. I can't wait to use Funagain.
Oops.
Oopsie doodle.
Next up on news.
Expeditions, which is a Scythe sequel. They do specify. It's an engine building card tile sort of thing. There's some hexes in there. There's a bunch of cards. Just went up for pre-orders. This one's going to run you pre-order $70. I guess MSRP is going to be $85 for this game, so that seems pretty hefty price-wise.
Yeah, and then more expensive if you get the big fucking honkin' die-cast
minis.
minis.
Yeah, so it seems like you're going to be you have like a player board and you're exploring from that board that will be connecting a bunch of hexes together. And then in between all those hexes will be a variety of various like cards. I guess the cards will be going in between all those hexes and stuff, or tiles.
Yeah.
And then you will have like your exploration mechs that are going out. So it's supposed to be based off like Tunguska. Everyone's going out into Russia to investigate this meteor that's landed.
Yep.
So it's got a little like, you know, the mech thing and the factory was already pretty like sci-fi fantasy kind of thing, but this seems like it's going to have a little more on top of that. Some of the art shows like floating meteors and, you know, things like that.
Yeah. Fun little thing I saw about this on Reddit is somebody had posted about it on Reddit that it was coming out. And somebody commented, they're like, oh, cool. Like, they used some of my assets that I released under, like, Creative Commons. Like, you know, that's awesome. I'm super excited about that. I kind of wish they had credited me, though. And then Jamie, like, jumped in on the Reddit thread and was like, oh, my God, I'm so sorry. I thought my artist, like, you know, removed all the placeholder art. Like, we'll totally credit you. Like, let me get in touch. And then the guy came back and was like, oh, yeah, we've been talking, totally following through. I'm going to be in the rule book. Ah. But, like, he had just made a bunch of, like, free, like, generic kind of, like, token art and stuff that he released under a Creative Commons license. And then when they were doing playtesting, Jamie pulled from a lot of that to do playtesting. And then it just somehow slipped through the cracks of getting changed up. But it was another example of Jamie kind of jumping in, I think, and doing some of the right thing. He stumbles occasionally, but then he tries to rapidly course correct. And,
especially after how the whole Scythe like artist reference thing happened. So, but the full rule book's out there, so you can go out and see what the game is going to play like. It's going to be 1 to 5 players, 60 to 90 minutes, competitive. We'll see. Yeah, I'll probably buy it.
I'll give it a shot.
Yeah,
I'll play your copy.
Cool.
Next up on news.
Gencon is just going to be a regular ass Gencon.
Yep.
No vax requirement, no nothing.
No mask rules, no vax rules.
But they're strongly strongly encouraged.
Yeah.
But are not required at this time. Yeah.
So I know last year they thought about doing or something, not even like a more half measure sort of thing, and they got enough backlash.
I think it was supposed to be mandatory vaccination, no mask requirement.
Yeah.
And then they went to mandatory vaccination, mandatory mask.
Yeah, they got enough backlash from it, but it doesn't seem like...
No, they announced this back on January 10th, so it's already been almost a month.
Yeah.
It was right before badges were going to go for sale.
So they must have sold enough badges, even with that news. I think the dropping the vaccine requirement is not the best. The masks at this point, I don't know.
I think after they did the mandatory vaccination and with the vaccination check, I had to I wore the same wristband for 4 days straight because I would have to go back and get it like re-verified to have the wristband. So I can only assume they just don't want to deal with.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's a headache to verify them.
Yeah. It was when we did it a day before the con even happened.
Yeah.
And it was a hour and a half, 90 minutes in line.
It was an hour. I think an hour and a half, somewhere in there. Yeah.
And then the day of it, I'm sure it was half the fucking day to be able to get through that line.
Yeah.
Wonder what like the legal like things that they would open themselves up to if they were like vaccines are required, but we're not going to actually ever check that. Like, would that open them up to where somebody's like, oh, you said vaccines required, but then this unvaccinated person got me sick? Or
it's Indiana.
But it'd be really hard to prove.
It's Indiana, so there's no way to know.
Yeah.
You know, if we're in Indiana again, we could actually go to Kuma's.
That's very
because the
true.
Denver one doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
Oh,
that would be our regular Kuma's
I miss
location
Kuma's.
again.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, that's it for the Gen Con news.
That's it for Gen Con news. Next up, Mythic's sounding desperate. There's this BGG post about how, hey, maybe you should buy Darkest Dungeon because our gouging of our shipping prices didn't work out so hot.
Yeah, so they basically like, I don't know who they sent this to, like I assume maybe you had to be on a Mythic's email list from like a previous Kickstarter or something, but they sent something out to like everybody about Darkest Dungeon where they're doing a sell-off period where they're selling it for 50% off until February 6th. So this is already over. Like it ended today. But they were talking about it being an investment. They're like, the fascination for this board game is incredible. Gameplay is fantastic. Quality of components is huge. Details on miniatures are off the charts. And they talk about, like, somewhere down in here, they'd mention, like, how much is it worth compared to other board games on Kickstarter these days? I'd say in the $350 to $500 range. That's 2 to 3 times its discounted price during the sell-off period. Isn't that called an investment? Like, it's just the skeeziest bullshit ever. So yeah, they are clearly very desperate, and it's not a good day to be somebody backing anything for Mythic Games.
That's kind of their thing. Didn't they did Mythic do the fucking Elden Ring Kickstarter?
I don't remember what all they did.
I thought that was, maybe it was them.
Or was that Steam, whatever?
Steam, I think that
Steamworks?
Steamworks.
Steamforged.
Steamforged,
It was Steamforged, yes. Which is another company that just does a bunch of like IP board game stuff. But, I mean, bummer, especially for people that backed and then never got a copy because they didn't want to pay an additional like 40% in shipping on top of what they had already paid.
Yeah, I mean, if I was a backer of theirs, I would have long since.
I'd even posted in Slack. I was like, hey, Miniature Markets has a big sale on fucking Darkest Dungeon. You can just go buy it from there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have long since contacted my credit card if I was a backer of like Darkest Dungeon and been like, cancel this charge, please.
Yeah. Someone had been like, this game is so amazing. How, like, it's half off. Massive sale, huge markdowns on our product. November, December, January, February, sale extended. Point 2, dude, our product is like going to be worth so much in the future. You've got to get in on this.
Yeah. Yeah, the comments are just ripping Mythic apart.
Yeah, it's not going great for them.
This email looks worse than a Nigerian prince scam email.
Yeah.
And it does, like everything about that email is just incredibly shitty.
Yes, indeed it is.
All right, moving on to actual crowdfunding.
Hey, here's your next crowdfunding bullshit you can do. First up in the wide world of crowdfunding on Kickstarter, we have Hero Realms Dungeons. Extremely well funded, $666,166.
So close, $500 off.
Yep.
I know.
Of its $20,000 goal. 4,200 backers, about a week left to go, with its most popular pledge being $100.
What does that get you?
A lot.
It gets you... So, all right, Hero Realms. You know Star Realms? Well, this is the fantasy one. I guess they're adding, like, PvP modes into it.
Wait, but it's already...
Do you remember the Star Realms box where they made, like, not just the little deck box, but, like, a box with a board?
Yeah.
This is kind of like that, but for Hero Realms.
Okay. Where
that Star Realms box had enough to play with 4 players, where this will also have like a 4-player version.
Gotcha.
Yeah. There's the $100 gets you the new 80 card market deck, the double-sided game board, 4 scoring dials, a 12-part dungeon adventure, and all 6 new characters with their adventure deck gear.
The adventure decks
stretch goals
are like a new thing.
Yeah. So there's a lot of stuff.
There is a lot of stuff.
Are you backing it, Jeff?
I will probably back this, yes. Because I have the big fucking Hero Realms box.
You have everything they have, right?
I think I currently have everything they have.
Except for the, like, shiny one.
I did not get the Nova
version
that's just basically a foil. Yeah, so it has, like, an actual game board thing. So, dungeon adventures. There's going to be a 12-encounter campaign, which they had that, like, 2-part campaign. I don't think the 3rd part ever came out. I don't remember if there was supposed to be a 3rd part, or maybe I'm forgetting. Up to 5 players. There will be an envelope for, like, each encounter. It'll be across a campaign, which you get experience and stuff like that, which the previous campaigns basically had. There's going to be the new classes. So the adventure deck is stuff that will be able to bring a character from 1st to 24th level. Basically, it's just all of the like level up stuff. So like the character pack is just going to be your like class, like all the other ones were.
Yeah.
Where the adventure deck is going to be your like campaign stuff, where it actually like levels up. There's going to be like skills and ability trees. So as like you get skills, you can like branch off.
Weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I see. So this will have the Watery Graves, which is the part 3 of the Ruins of Thandar campaign.
Gotcha.
So that is also in this campaign. I did finally find my part 2 of the Ruins of Thandar campaign when I moved.
Oh, that's good.
It's like, where the fuck is this? I definitely bought it. I probably need more sleeves.
Undoubtedly.
Yeah. I just finally got my Pledge Manager like shipping notification for Robot Quest Arena. So
Okay.
that will finally be coming, inevitably.
Yeah.
Look forward to an additional $15 to $25 for shipping.
There you go.
It's more Hero Quest.
Yep.
Didn't see any more boss things, but it's probably like the campaign with the dungeons stuff will have like all of those extra boss things.
Right.
They only ever did the 2 like actual like bosses that came like in a pack.
Oh yeah, I remember
It was
those.
like the dragon and the
like Necromancer or something
I think
like
so.
that.
But now there's like a Necromancer class, so that won't be confusing.
Not at all.
Not at all.
Hero Realms Dungeons. If you want more Hero Realms.
Yeah, a
here's
lot more Hero Realms.
Hero Realms.
Yep. Next up on Kickstarter.
Next up, we have The Search for Lost Species. Very well funded, 97,000 of its $10,000 goal. 1,700 backers, about 3 weeks left to pledge. This one, which you can for about $45. And it's the search for It's the Search for Planet X, the animal species expansion.
Yes. So in this one, it's based off of the real idea that like there's creatures that have been documented on Earth, animals that we've seen in the past, but nobody's seen in years and years, and that may be endangered and or extinct. And so you're out looking for those animals to see if they still exist.
And make sure they become extinct.
Yeah, and finish the job.
Yep.
Whoever wins, we lose.
Yeah. Nice. But yeah, so it's basically like similar gameplay to the Search for Planet X. Like you're traveling around on this little hex area. This is now more like an island.
Yeah. I saw that it said eco-friendly version. What if you scroll up? No, down. The Search for Lost Species is an eco-friendly version.
An eco-friendly game.
Oh, okay.
So they are there. So there's not an eco-friendly version.
Okay.
They're just it is eco-friendly in
the
general.
game is an eco. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I was like, what about this makes this eco-friendly?
Which I don't know if they get into more of it. One thing I did see
It's
down
not
towards the bottom
shrink-wrapped.
is like it's not shrink wrapped.
Yep.
Okay.
It's
And
not shrink wrapped. It uses adhesive tabs. Stickers.
and part of it they're donating, I think, to this Rewild nonprofit.
Yeah, they are highlighting Rewild.
Okay, yeah. So they're just
And then it's in like paper.
raising awareness.
Yeah. It's in like paper sleeves
Oh.
for all the cards instead of like
Yeah.
plastic.
So they're avoiding plastic pretty much at every chance they get.
That makes sense.
Wooden pieces instead of plastic, which I always like because wooden pieces are way better.
Yes.
Lego has said that they've been trying to switch over to like paper bags for years. I've gotten notifications like in their boxes that are like, hey, while we have this transition, sometimes you're going to see a mix of paper and plastic. I have only seen plastic ever, always.
Yeah, it's just always just always plastic.
Always plastic. Dozens of plastic bags, depending on how much it is.
Yeah. This game is all app based because it is always randomized on whatever the thing is that you're kind of hunting for.
Yep.
Which Planet X, Search for Planet X was like that too, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It depended on like how you were. It also depended on like where the sun was, like where you could see, because your observatory was on like a different part of the planet. So where as the planet rotated, you could see different parts of the sky. This does not have so much that, but does have an actual like character meeple that's going around the map to do all of the surveying.
And you can like move by foot or by boat, and like there's different things like that.
I wonder if I will like this one more, because I think that was one thing I wasn't a big fan of in the first one, was that it was just sort of like you're all just sort of sitting there and like doing maybe if I do this, but like having a board or something to help guide that somewhat.
Yeah. I mean, this one seems like it still has a pretty hefty, complex, like, tile system of where you're tracking things and having to write down how you were recording all of these.
Yeah, it comes with like a notepad where you're like taking notes about what you see and what you find, and like you'll hear about like, oh, this animal is in this region, and it's like you have to go like set up camera traps to try and see it, capture it.
It almost feels like there's like a 1-to-1 action exchange for whatever you were doing in Planet X, of where you were trying to find information on certain things versus other things, where this is just kind of the same, but animals.
Sure.
Yeah. Bezier's doing the app.
Okay.
They did.
Could be good, could be bad.
Yeah, it could crash right after.
I believe they did the scoring app for Castles of Magic King Lugwood. Is that correct?
No, that was someone else.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You can also add on the search for Planet X if you're into that sort of thing.
Was there an expansion for that?
It's just like component
New Horizons
upgrades.
upgrade.
Okay.
I think it's just component upgrades. May 2023.
There you go.
Apparently. So this is right around the fucking corner.
Indeed. Cool. Well, then that's going to be it for the episode. We don't have any listener feedback. No one sent us emails. Andrew told me at game night he had an email to send us, and then he did not send it. So the hater is slacking.
When he should be emailing us.
When he should be emailing. Less Slack, more email. Yeah. If you want to send us an email, you can.
Emails at milehighgameguys.com.
You can also tweet us over on Twitter.
Emails.
Emails.
Is there an S?
There's an S.
There's an S.
Emails at milehighgameguys.com.
You can also find us over on Twitter, where I tune under at MHGameGuys.
Zach_MHGG.
Jeff_MHGG.
So if you want to know where an episode is, because you haven't heard from us in a while, you can tweet us and be like, hey, you guys...
You can ask for a proof of life there.
Yeah. That's almost all of the tweets we get these days.
Yes.
You guys still doing this?
Do you go to the Slack channel? Just be on the Slack channel. That's where we are, like, literally every day.
Yeah, definitely recommend the Slack channel.
We have a Discord.
We do have a Discord.
But it's for us to play video games on. It's not for you to make a community.
I mean, you can try, but it's probably not going to go anywhere.
A community of one.
How many other Discord communities are you in? Do you need another one?
No.
No? Okay.
Yeah.
Slack.
The problem that I'm having with Slack these days is that my company...
Is it the Slack AI?
My company... No, I never have UI problems with Slack. Never. It's flawless.
Yeah, my phone...
Perfect app.
Doing great.
No, my new job uses Slack. So now, like, because I'm just so used to using Slack, I find myself checking my work Slack way too much on my days off. And I hate it. Hate it. So trying to be better about not giving them any more free time from me than they already get.
Gotcha.
Since I don't get paid overtime. Because I'm salary now.
Right?
Yeah.
I do have an email that's letting me know my Formula One television subscription will be renewing on March 9th.
Vroom, vroom.
Year or month?
A year. Yeah.
2 days after my birthday.
$80 a year.
Cool. Those are the main ways to get a hold of us. Slack channel, Twitter, email. Those are the ones that matter.
Yep.
Those are the ones that count.
Or in person. If you
or
come
in
to
person.
Our brewery and board game evenings at denvergamenight.com.
If you're ever in the Denver area, come play board games with us.
denvergamenight.com.
denvergamenight.com for the schedule. It's pretty much entirely filled out, too.
Wow.
I got to find a replacement for DVC.
Is it just Diebold?
I mean, we could go back to Diebold full time, but people seem to be starting to revolt against Diebold.
There's no way to know.
So I wanted to find a different rotation place in there.
Let them eat cake.
I have been doing that for 10 years, and it has not seemed to lead me astray. We go where I want to go. Fuck all you rest of you. But yeah, we're gearing up for the big anniversary. We're going to do our 10-year game night anniversary in March. So it's going to be exciting.
Yep.
Yeah, that's going to be it for tonight. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Thanks for anybody who jumped in the chat over on Twitch. And we'll see you next week. Until then, I've been your host, Adrian.
I am still Zach.
And I'm Shaman Jeff.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.